What does that say? What's that? Can you hear him? Can you hear him? Because he ain't exempt from the travel ban, I know that. That's Santa Claus! Ho, ho! Holiday season is here. That is right. And he can travel, so all you little boys and girls, he is gonna poof down your chimneys this year no matter what. Okay? So don't worry about it. Welcome back to Horror Vision 2020. Me and Tommy are glad you guys are still joining us for these interviews. We're always excited. Today is one of our favorite guests. We've already had her on once. She was the OG. She was part of the first one that we attempted to do before coronavirus changed the whole idea, the whole platform. And that's why we've been bringing you these fun things. She's been in the business for a long time. She definitely knows more about horror than all of us. She played Pazuzu, that's right, Linda Blair's demon in The Exorcist. Yes, one of the scariest movies of all time, one of our all-time favorites, one of the best ever made, and it was a game changer. She was part of that. She started off, though, in, the soap opera world with Doctors, Guiding Light, and then the big one, General Hospital, which was an incredible experience for her. We talk about how horrific this year has been, not just for her, but for so many around the world. It's like we are living in some sort of a horror film. We talk about how the pandemic is changing and the new norm in Hollywood. She did a movie that I'm looking forward to seeing called Dark Offerings, which was, we believe, one of the first films to shoot totally isolated on Zoom, selfies, whatever kind of footage you can get of yourself with a script. It sounds very well structured. She's really excited about it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Dark Offerings looks fantastic. We talk a little bit about Amityville Harvest that she is doing with Thomas Churchill, how much fun that was. We'll have an interview with him coming up soon. She has so many movies. She's doing like 23 films right now, whether it's in pre-pro, filming, post-production, just announced. So that's incredible because this year has been so slow for so many people, but she is so sought after and so loved in this industry that people will call her just to do voiceover, to be part of something that they love. And that's what we love about the independent film world, because they stick together like glue. We all have to. We got to do more of it. Please check out her book, Exorcising My Demons. It's more of a biography, but it talks about her life and everything, that she deals with and within and outside of the film industry. A really incredible book. You can check it out on her website. You can also hit her up on Facebook, but you can check it out on her website, which is up. It's beautiful. It's a great page, and it is eileendietz.com. Yes, I gave it away already. That's okay, because we're going to get right to it, because she is one of the most amazing, positive, fun individuals. She's beautiful inside and out. We enjoy every minute of her interview. We enjoy every minute talking to her, and I think she feels the same about us. So let's get to it. Here we go with Eileen Dietz.
We're on.
Let's hear about it.
So,
We're on. We're
welcome,
rolling.
Eileen Dietz. We're going to talk about what you're doing currently, and then we'll go back after that.
That sounds good to me. So we just shot this film called Dark Offerings, and like I said, it's all shot in people's houses with quarantine and self-isolating and stuff. But it worked because they came up with a theme that this woman's brother has been possessed. Excuse the expression, but been possessed by a demon, and the only way he can live is to infect 6 other people.
Oh.
So she decides she's going to have a reunion of all her friends, which is all done online, and Zooms and stuff like that. And then I can't tell you the rest, but it is bloody, it is gory, and
like that.
yeah, I play the demon. But I actually only did voiceovers, which was fun. And I played one of the characters' moms. So it was really fun.
Who's the director of that?
His name is Marcus Slabin.
Okay. I thought maybe it was someone that Jim knew, so I wasn't sure.
Marcus who?
Slabin, S-L-A-B-I-N. You should check him out on Facebook. Yeah. I wrote a book called Exorcising My Demons. And the whole first part of the book is, after I get through, don't let people discourage you from your dreams and just keep going and stuff like that, and about support systems. But after that, we go into how this little skinny flat-chested, buck-toothed little girl from New York City, and then Queens, found herself in the scariest movie of all time. So, and the guy who wrote it, I talked it, Dan Lubier, is just amazing. And I guarantee you, some of it's very funny, some of it's very poignant, some of it's really sad. And my first summer stop job, I had a real Me Too incident, except we didn't have it then. And it was summer stock in Michigan, and I reported him to Equity, Actors Equity, and nothing happened. And then he fired me.
Of course.
But I had, as it's written in the book, he fired me. I was going home. What was I going to tell everybody in New York? That I had gotten the job of a lifetime. I was a star. I mean, I was so young. I was of age. But I looked down at my hand and I had my Equity card. I was a professional actress. So that's how he wrote the whole book. And I wanted to be an actress ever since I was 7 years old. Wow. And I remember my mom took us to see Peter Pan in the snow. And I remember absolutely thinking, if I can jump down on the stage, I can be one of the Lost Boys. And we were sitting in the balcony. And then I thought, well, if I miss, I'm going to end up in the audience. So that didn't seem like such a good idea. So I went to sleep. But those are the stories in the book before I get into The Exorcist and how I got the job and the audition, which most people don't even know I did an audition.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, it's people that, call me a double or call me a stunt person, stuff like that. I wasn't. I was the principal actress on the show. And I did a couple improvisations for the casting director. And then I met Dick Smith and Billy Friedkin and all those people. And I went out to Dick's studio, which is amazing. And I talk about it in the book. Dick Smith, I'm sure most of you people know, is the godfather of makeup, He taught everybody.
He created so many things that we still use to this day.
Oh, absolutely. And Tom Savini is trying to pick up for him and people like that. But I miss him every day. He was an amazing man. But then I went ahead and did a screen test, which was actually very funny because they brought a crucifix. We did the possession scene in the bed, and I played both parts. But they brought a crucifix out that was this big. I mean, really, really big from the prop department, right? But it was fun, it's like, mommy, what's happening, mommy? You saw, you big God. And so we did the whole scene that way and tested out some props and stuff. So yeah, I did a screen test. And then off I went to Washington. And they took me out to Washington early, which was nice because then they have to pay you. And I met Lee J. Cobb. And we rode in a limo together. And all I did was walk across the window. And got to do all that. And that was just the beginning of heaven. So that, in answer to your question, Tommy, besides that, I just always wanted to be an actress. And I auditioned for I wanted to audition for the high school performing arts, but I was so afraid to fail that I didn't. But when I was old enough, I didn't know how to get accepted into a summer stock company. So I just took some pictures with Kodak and sent them in and stuff like that. So I got my Equity card with this horrible man, and I was back in New York and just, did what I did some soap operas.
So what soap operas?
The first one I ever did was a soap opera called Doctors, which has not been on forever. And I had one line. And I'm telling you, doing one line is scarier than doing 3 pages.
Because you got to make it count.
Yeah, and you gotta focus, because when are they going to get to me? What is that? Am I on? Am I doing this? So the Doctors was the first one. And then I did Guiding Light, and we went to, it was the first soap opera to ever go out of the country. And we went to the Bahamas. It was a tough job.
The Bahamas? That sounds tough.
Terrible.
Oh, really? I just suffered every single day. My hotel room was on the beach, and
my God.
I died scuba diving.
That's cool. And you were on another soap opera too, right?
Oh, well, General Hospital was much, much later.
Right.
General Hospital was like when it became the most famous show of all time. It was great. It was like being on a nighttime show. You couldn't walk anywhere without being recognized. And then you signed autographs for free.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I had no problem doing it. I would, I'd sign all the time, except when I was eating. Eating was the one time I just didn't want it. I wanted to be left alone because I'm a sloppy eater.
Or the bathroom, right? Or the bathroom. Don't bother me in the
The
bathroom.
bathroom, that would be tough. So that was General Hospital, but that was way after The Exorcist.
Yeah.
I did Helter Skelter in between that, and Barnaby Jones and Happy Days and all this kind of nice stuff. I was shooting General Hospital. Sally Field has always been my idol, or she would be my one-sided mentor because she didn't know I existed. But, I loved her because we're both the same size.
Yeah.
And, from the Flying Nun to, Sybil and everything she did. So we went to see a VIP showing of Cher over at the Greek Theater in Hollywood. And they had a special party for VIPs. And Sally Field was there. And I've never gone up to, like an actor or anybody in my life to fawn, to be a fan. I've never done it, but I had to. So I walked over to her, and as I opened my mouth to tell her how much I loved her, she went, oh my God, Eileen, you played Sarah in General Hospital. I watched you the whole time that, I was pregnant with my son. You're fabulous. And I couldn't open my mouth. I just, I just stood there like,
That's
and then I couldn't say anything. I probably said something like, well, I like you too. So that's my Sally Field story. It was absolutely amazing.
Awesome.
And General Hospital was so much fun anyway, because I played a mental patient. And everybody on the show kept coming up to me and saying, you have so much fun. Everything that you do, and all we do is serve coffee.
That's why we do horror movies, because they're fun.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then makeup people love me because I said, no, you're not doing soap opera makeup on me. The glam thing. I said, she's in a mental institution. She's, like 17 years old. So all they had to do was, put some foundation on and some concealer, and that was that. So they love me too. But truly, of all the jobs I've done, and I really love everything just about that. Well, not one or two, but I've loved just about everything I've done. General Hospital has to be a high, and I did a lot of, because my character was in a mental hospital, I did a lot of shows for mental health and mental stuff, and kids used to just write me, and it was just marvelous from A to Z.
That's cool. That's
really
awesome. Yeah.
That's great.
So you've been working so much lately in so many different films. Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, first of all, of course, it was the advent of indie films. Which I couldn't tell you in years, but 10 years that they started being really popular, and everybody could rent a red camera and do a pretty good job if they wanted to in the garage. But that's really why. And of course, it is because of playing the demon in The Exorcist that people want me in their films.
That's not the only reason.
Yeah, no.
I'm so gracious and sweet.
It is your spirit. There is something that is so energetic about you and positive that just being around you, I can see why people hire you all the time.
And by the way, I was really glad to hear, because I'm doing Joseph Kelly's film called Clown Motel 2, and we're doing it at the end of August. And, you're never sure what people on indie films are doing. On SAG, they have to follow all these things. But he's doing everything right, with social distancing and masks and everything like that. So I was, because I saw him. Angie from Denver is the other producer, and she bought him a statue. I still have to meet Angela from there. You know Angie, right?
I've only seen her and we're Facebook friends, but I would love to meet her.
Oh, you will.
Yeah,
You will.
that'd
Come
be
out to come out to the Clown Motel.
Oh yeah, I will for sure. Because we
You're
did
going to be there, right? Aren't you producing it?
I'm not sure if I'm on there still because of COVID,
Yeah.
but
He
I
put
will-
you down. I think he put you down as something.
whatever he needs, I'm there. So
Yeah.
either way, I would love credit, but if I don't get it, I'm good too.
Oh, no. They met for lunch, everybody out there. And Tommy, still being fairly new to LA, went out to Simi Valley when she was 5 minutes away from where lunch was. I said, where the hell are you?
I had the wrong address and I drove 45 minutes out of the way because the address was wrong. And
Well, it was my fault. Everything's my fault. Ask my husband. Everything's my fault. Ask Chris Rowe, my manager. Everything's my fault. But I really should have been more specific and said, we're in Burbank, Tommy. Anyway.
Yeah, so I went far and then drove back.
Yeah, but she finally got there.
Yeah.
And guys, I just love putting people together when I can. I don't know why. I just really, really enjoy putting people together. And someone once told me, why don't you set up an agency? No, that's not what I like.
A lot of work then, yeah.
And what if people don't show up? That's the biggest problem. But I love putting people together, and Joseph just loved Tommy, and Tommy loved Joseph. And I'm doing 3 films with Joseph, so I'm sure you'll be with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
I'm doing another film.
I better give him a call.
Yeah, we just got to get this virus over.
I know, or just under control for a little bit. I don't know.
You know, and I'm a little bit older than you guys, and so I tell everybody, you know, I'm too scared and old to fool around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't.
They keep scaring the hell out of it. Hey, if you're 50 years old, you know, you're in bad shape.
I know.
I think it's probably true, but I think they're really talking about people who are 75 or 80 or something.
And most of them have to have underlying conditions, because even older people that are healthy, they don't have to be intubated or anything. They just get through it.
And
thank God, Thomas and I are incredibly healthy. In fact, I do affirmations and gratitude lists every night. And the biggest one is that I'm so grateful that Thomas and I have perfect health and incredibly strong and working immune systems. I do that every night. But we are incredibly healthy. And I think I have allergies. So it's the long and short of it. I sneeze in front of people, everybody leaves. It's like, oh, I'm getting out of here. But we don't eat, we don't eat any processed foods. And I think that's a big part of it. I eat bacon. Is bacon processed?
Can and can't be. Depends on where you buy it, I guess.
Not eat bacon.
Well, I didn't kill the pig, but you know, we eat bacon. But seriously, that's the long and short of it. We don't buy any other processed foods. You know, like frozen mac and cheese or frozen finger rings.
My friend's mom, she's 80 years old, and she had it, and she's fairly healthy too, and she's just like, I've just felt tired.
Yeah, there you go.
She pulled you fine.
And it's like, you know, you hear the horror stories, but then you're like, well, on that case, it's like, well, man. And I think that's the scary thing about it, is you don't know what version of it you may get.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, my husband really thinks we were in Vegas, which, by the way, we've been going to the opening of the football season for, get this, 33 years, longer than and we're not going this year.
Yeah.
We're not going to the casinos, Las Vegas, and the casinos are being hit really, really hard. And they're offering us free rooms, you know, and free restaurants and everything.
All of the food places, they open all you can eat places?
Yeah. The buffets.
Yeah, buffets.
The buffets. Yeah, my friend's in Vegas right now, and she says that, like, she's from there. Like, she said the casinos they have visited are very, very slow.
Well, they're not requiring everybody wear masks. Hello?
Oh, they're not.
No, nobody's required to wear a mask. And if you see any pictures of people, you know, on the floor, most people aren't wearing masks. And I mean, I think the employees have to wear a mask, but you know, I do know there were 7 people at the Flamingo that came down with it, and at any rate, so
Because you know, if it's 7, that it's way more than that because they bring it home. They bring it where they go.
I know, without getting too political, that's the thing, the most
You froze. You
speech there
froze.
over the weekend.
Oh, she's back.
You froze right when you said not to be too political.
No, I'm
Good timing.
talking about Trump in Oklahoma. Yeah, some god just
Yeah.
got me because I mentioned Trump's name. But you know, there weren't a million people because all these kids pranked him, which I thought was great.
I know.
They all bought tickets and nobody showed up.
Did you hear about that, Jim? That it is the Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was Tulsa, Oklahoma.
A bunch of kids filled out for the tickets. And
All
didn't
over the
show up.
country.
All over the country, and didn't show up. You know, because
Yeah.
they knew. So
And
they didn't think that it would be.
That's brilliant.
I'm just
Love it.
great. Yeah, it started out with that Korean singing group that's really, really popular. I forget what the name is, but that's where it started.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that lots of them are over 18, so they'll go vote. I forgot, why are we talking about that?
Just about the closing down and the wearing of masks. That's all.
Yeah, the sad thing is, if those people want to be that stupid that went to the rally and want to sit, you know, arm to arm and stuff like that and not wear masks, because no one was wearing masks, they're going home. Like, to your point, the scary thing is they're going home and they're infecting innocent people plus their family. And that's what, strangely enough, they said they didn't get a big spike from all the demonstrations.
A lot of the demonstrators wore masks.
I know, because we didn't go into the crowd the day they had 20,000 people.
Yeah.
But as you know, we live in Hollywood. And so we walked down there, but stood at the top of a hill because too scared, too stupid, not stupid. And you're right. Just about everybody was wearing masks. Right. And it was so great because I swear to God, Thomas and I were the oldest people there. You know, everybody was young and black and brown and gay and straight. And it was amazing.
Yeah, my son wanted to go because he said Laura Dern was there protesting. So I got to go meet her.
Did you go check it out in Burbank?
No, I because of Magnus, I want to stay safe. I want to make sure that
you should stay safe for yourself too. But like I said, we were able to stay on the outskirts on top of the hill and look down on this amazing throng of people.
I don't even.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I order Amazon Fresh. I don't even go out and get groceries.
Oh my God, that's our big week. We do. We go to Costco. That's our big adventure.
Well, Costco's fun.
Yeah, I'd lose my mind if I couldn't just go a couple places.
Yeah.
We go to the weed store.
Hey, there you go.
We deliver.
The necessities.
But you know that delivery charge is just insane.
I have because I grew my own in Michigan. I still have leftover. I use it for my medicine every day, so I still have.
Oh, you carried it into LA when you came here?
Mm-hmm. I drove it in.
Oh, you drove it. Oh.
But it was legal in Michigan and legal in California, so in between.
Yeah, exactly. True. Exactly. Not like I still get paranoid when I buy it and I want to wrap it up and put it in my trunk. Like, really, guys?
You don't hide it anymore.
But anyway, since this is a horror show, this has got to be the biggest horror of my life. And unfortunately, we got a beginning and a middle, because that's my other thing about horror films, going back to horror. And people ask me what the difference in horror films are now as opposed to the 80s and 70s, which I think was the heyday of great horror films, obviously. It was the Halloweens, it was the, you know what I mean?
Freddy, Exorcist, Friday.
Yeah.
Howling.
Texas Chainsaw, that's what I was trying to think of. But at any rate, so many kids think they can buy that camera, no script. They can just buy the camera and buy some blood. They should talk to Joe Castro. But buy some blood and they can make a film. And there's no beginning, there's no middle, there's no end, and there's no character. Because you make films, Tommy. Do you get submissions?
Do I get submissions?
Submissions of scripts?
I do. Well, I run a film festival, international.
Right.
Festival, so I literally get tons of them. Tons
you
of
read them
films
all?
and scripts. I get scripts also.
Do you read them?
Yes, but not all of them because we have other readers. So it just depends on who gets what.
Yeah, I'm watching short films for Shriek Fest. I became a judge. I love short films. I just love the.
Shriek Fest is different than Scream. I'm thinking Rachel did that.
Yeah, no, Shriek Fest is the little relative of Scream Fest.
Okay.
But they're doing really. I've known Denise Gossett. I've known her for years and years and years. But anyway, going back to horror films, that people are writing these films because I get, people send them to me directly on Facebook. There's no character development. There's no people. There's no plot. Nothing happens. And in any good film, horror too, you have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
And you have to have people you either hate or love.
Yeah.
Or hate to love, or love to hate. You know what I mean? But I'm really, really serious.
Yeah.
I suppose some people even like Pazuzu. I tried to make Pazuzu, because my theory about horror, and like really bad people, whether it's Freddy or anything about a serial killer, is they love doing what they do. They don't think they're bad. They don't think they're horrible. They think, even Hitler thought that he was good taking over the world. You know what I mean? So I think when you play a character, you have to find, no matter what it is, you have to find that vulnerability, to find that inside thing. And people are still going to hate you in what you do, but it gives you some color.
Yeah. But if you don't
I hate that word, but
something wrong. So yeah, it's okay to have haters.
Right.
These people
so
are
anyway, but this horror has no end.
Yeah.
The horror,
Not yet.
Not yet.
It will, and it'll have a new normal. And we'll all get back to doing different. It might be a little different, but we're all still the same people,
Yeah, I hear the studios are just going to use a far less background.
Yeah.
And probably no. I know. That's what my husband does. Far less background.
And too, so that sucks for me.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
And very few co-stars.
Yeah.
They're just probably not going to write in a lot of co-stars. So all you guys do extra work, you better start doing featured roles.
I know, right?
Well, I have
write a good script.
I have a theory that, because how many not a theory, but I just think like how many thousands of people live in Los Angeles that really do just extra work, or
Thousands.
A lot.
a lot. And if they're not getting work, I think that's going to be a lot more people leaving this town.
Ironically, I always watch the local news at night, and I just fast forward the parts that I can't deal with, bleed leads. But I like to see what's going on in the world. And they interviewed this guy. They were doing a whole show about the eviction level once the safety, because the governor put on safety things that you can't be evicted.
I get worried about that too. Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't be evicted. Up to a certain time, and they were doing a story about what's going to happen after that time runs out. And they interviewed a guy who does background work, and he said, "I don't know what to do. I'm paying $2,000 a month, and I don't know how I'm going to make my rent."
Right. I know.
Well, I mean, you heard about was it you, Tommy, that told me about the soap operas, how they had to shut down? Like, I think it was Days of Our Lives, or I might have told you about it.
It was someone we were talking to on one of these Zoom calls. It wasn't me, but I was there, so I don't remember who it was.
I can't remember the name. If it was.
Well, The Bold and the Beautiful opened up, and then they shut down.
Yeah, and they were trying, like, they had to bring in couples to hold hands, the actors. They're trying like new camera angles because you had to be 6 feet apart.
Right.
Yeah,
I heard blow up dolls and love scenes, which
we were talking about.
It's like, how can you make a show with all those? I mean, obviously for a reason, but at some point, hopefully in the near future, they figure out a way to make a good film properly.
They did that with porn and AIDS, where you had to CAD a card that you carried, and that you had to do what? You had to do what? You had to have a special card that you carried when you've been tested, and all the times you've been tested. So it's going to probably be similar. So we should, just like always, take some tips from the porn industry.
Tommy, I've never taken a tip from the porn industry, as far as I know. I don't know.
Just the tip.
Oh, that's what she said. I think that the best thing that can happen, and this just occurred to me, that if they can find a way to test you and get the results back immediately, which I know is what the government does, because he can't be showing up there without a mask and all that stuff.
And
I think they get tested every day. And all the people that are around him, you said, why? So they get tested every day.
Yeah.
And they get the results back. So I think if it comes to a point with sports too, that every actor that gets on the set the day of, or, gets tested. I had to go to Apple yesterday, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
They, stood in line 6 feet. They took your temperature, and then there were 2 people in the store. But find some way that you have to, because if you have 2 actors that have a love scene, right, and they test negative, then you can probably do the scene.
Right. And
but I don't know what's going to happen with convention
actors and couples together in movies, because or like so I'm putting together a movie, and we're looking at couples that have a family so that they can shoot for the summer. So couples like, let's say, like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, or so they could be in a lot of movies together because they're together all the time anyway. So
I know you're absolutely right. It was like if Thomas and I were in a movie.
So we'll have to remember that, right?
Yeah, remember that. But I am shooting Joseph's movie, and he's just doing everything. And I said, I'm playing the queen of the clowns.
Yeah, but he works so hard. That's see how hard that he works and how much he puts into all.
I know. I've never played a part like that before. I'm so excited because she's a queen. Usually I play victims or demons, and she's very haughty, and she's really a bitch, and she's really mean. But I am finding parts in her where she is vulnerable. Yeah. And if she is going to go, because she's been there too long, and they have to appoint somebody else in the clown. So there is a vulnerability about it. But I said, let's do the scenes outside, because that's the other thing they're saying, which you probably heard. I'm a news junkie, and I watch what I can. I really can't watch much more of the virus because it's the same thing. But they have said the best thing you can do is be outside. Yeah. If you're meeting up with people, stay 6 feet away, but stay outside because the virus can't pass the same way.
Right.
And and I have an old computer, or I would be doing this outside. Yeah. My computer has glare on it, and I can't see it. But everybody should go outside for at least an hour and get natural vitamin D. Yeah. And so, I've had people say, is it safe to jog? Is it safe to walk? Of course it is. Just stay away from people.
Stay away from people, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or jog with your family, like you said.
I'm about to go jogging.
Are you going to go? I can't jog. I can't run 2 blocks. I get tired.
I'm a walker. I'm a hiker. I like to hike.
Oh, I got a Nordic track. Can you see it?
Very nice. Is this
you know what it's doing?
Or Nordic track?
Collecting dust?
No, it holds bags.
Oh, there you go.
It holds purses. And right now it's holding a NBA basket kit that I want to give to my manager, Chris Rowe. His son's birthday is in July.
We just did an interview with Chris. It was a
I didn't know that. He doesn't tell me. He's my best friend, and he doesn't tell me anything.
It was a while ago. It takes us a couple weeks to get it going, so he's probably just waiting until it comes out.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to have to move. I'm moving you. We'll see what happens. I got to plug in my battery. Hey, that's better, isn't it?
Yes, much better.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So where were we?
I froze it.
I promised Thomas Churchill every time I do an interview, I have to mention the film we did, which was a lot of fun. It's called Amityville Horror. I'm sorry, Amityville Harvest. And I'm sure he'll have a big Thomas does, as you know, Tommy, He
I
does
will
these
reach out to
big
him.
screenings.
I'm
at
gonna
a-
reach out to him. Yeah, because I went to see you. You invited me to some of them. I've been.
I did. When Tommy was looking for places to go,
I
I
know, I'm
became
like,
her
I need
social secretary.
Yep.
I did. I
You
got
are
you
my
2
social-
Halloween parties,
Yep.
right?
I know. I got to take my son to Hollywood Halloween parties. It was
Oh,
really
But
cool.
like I said, I love putting people together. It's
Yeah,
just
I
like
like
when
doing that too.
I didn't go.
I know. I went in your place. I was your proxy.
Yes, you were. But anyway, so it's called. Thomas does these great screenings at a theater in West Hollywood. I mean, in West LA, and fills out an entire movie theater. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll do that.
So it was
With-
Amityville Harvest, correct?
Yeah,
All right.
and it's that set was just so much fun. You know, 2 sets I've been on that I can think of right away were so much fun because I also did a film for Todd Sheets called Clownado, which has gotten a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
You know, with these crazy clowns.
Yes.
And that set was a lot of fun too. But Thomas is, it was the kind of set, everything was fun. Just
She froze again.
up for me at 2:00 in the morning. It was, you know, we did a face mask and did all that. But everything was fun and loose and silly and stuff like that until Thomas called action, and then everything got really, really serious.
I know how that is.
Yeah, I'm sure. I want to shoot a movie with you. I can only imagine it'd be a lot of fun.
Am I a hard ass or what?
The what?
Yeah, she's probably the hardest director to work with out there. She's complicated, constantly in a bad mood,
Stressful, right?
yelling at
Star in
the
a couple of
PAs,
our
yelling at the actors. No,
Never feel like you're
Tommy's
doing,
fun.
you
Tommy's
know.
sets are fun.
It was funny because
It's always fun.
I bet it is, and I really can't wait. But when I shot this movie, Dark Offerings, that we were talking about, because they were all voiceovers, and I realized as an actress, you don't need people to go gush over you. Oh my God, that was the most fabulous thing I ever heard, and stuff like that. But you really appreciate someone saying, "Hey, that was good."
Yeah.
You know, that was in the right direction, because then you know you're going in the right direction. But you can't have anybody be too effusive, because then you try and imitate what you did before, and you can't act as an imitation. You have to start from the beginning, wherever you are. But I think just a little, hey, that's great, let's move on, is all you really need.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know me, I'm always, yeah, that's good. I get
Yeah,
excited.
you got, God damn it, Eileen, don't you know your lines? God damn it, Eileen, can't you walk from one end of the room to the other? Yeah, we heard such great stuff about you. Obviously, it was all untrue.
You know, I'm thinking about Tommy, like working on her sets. It was here's Tommy on the movies I worked with her on. No, it was great. It was great. No, really, it was great. Good. Awesome. You did fantastic. And then when it's your death scene, she is like goo goo gaga, like, oh my God, that was incredible. Can you do that for 3 more hours? Can you die for another 3 hours? Tell me you can.
Or run out in the cold in your underwear.
Oh,
Oh, is that right?
Shoes, though. I let you wear shoes, right?
I slipped shoes on in the scene, even, I think.
In the middle of winter.
I feel like an actor with credits, but I went out to Wisconsin the second week in January, and for a horror film called Lake Alice, which is really fun. If any of you guys out there are just looking for movies to watch, if you're still locked down and stuff like that, I have a whole list. But Lake Alice was a lot of fun. And I said, why are you shooting a movie the second week in January in Wisconsin? What, are you out of your mind? Cold. And he said he wanted the black and white part of it.
Well, yeah, it does. That did add,
Because it was all snow, and it looked like black and white, even though
it
was
looks
shooting
almost
color.
desolate. It gives you that feeling, and that's
Yeah.
But I had one of those death scenes, but I wasn't in my underwear, and they were really nice.
Oh, he was so young, he could handle it. He's
Well, this was like 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Could you handle 10 degrees, son?
Oh, he's from Michigan. He could handle it.
Oh, wow.
Good boy.
Yeah.
They had a Fernie pad, they had feet warmers, they had hand
Didn't get
warmers.
that stuff as much.
Oh, it's too expensive,
I mean,
right?
Steve we did have heaters.
I think we had heat warmers when we were doing the car scene because we couldn't have the car running.
Right.
I could be wrong.
The car
I can't
running.
remember.
Right.
But
we brought
yeah.
Dee Wallace out for that one, so it was cold for her too.
It was so cold. How cold was it? I mean, apparently
Like
one of the
it was in the teens a lot of the days. I know it was in the teens or the low 20s at least.
Oh, this was cold. This was like 5 degrees and windy. So one actor I heard was shooting down by the lake of Lake Alice, and it was so cold he couldn't talk.
Yeah.
His
When I shot Mr. Jingles, we were trying to spray blood, but we couldn't because it would freeze as soon as it shot.
Oh my God! Whoever thought of that?
I didn't think of it, obviously.
Let me tell you, one of the other thrills in life, which has actually happened to me twice now. I did another film called, I did Queen of Screams, but God, the name escapes me. I'll get it in a second. Don't you hate that?
I do.
But they shot me, and the blood, it was cold there too. Except we were in LA in the mountains.
It gets cold.
There's mountains between Malibu and the West Valley, like Woodland Hills and stuff like that. They have a whole setup there of offices and sheriff's places and bunks and stuff like that. But it was very, very cold. And when they squirted that blood on you, because right, Jim, the blood is cold.
Yep.
But they don't warm up that blood.
I know the toughest guys on my set scream like little girls when we spray them with blood. Not you, Jim. No. Not you, Jim. Never.
Tommy, I like that you said little girls because I've heard that expression too many times. Like, oh, he was just screaming like a girl.
Like,
really?
No, you know how little girls scream? Make me crazy. That's why I'm glad I had 4 boys.
Hey, you have 4 kids, and I guess
4
you
boys.
screamed then.
4 boys. They weren't like little girls. They were actually really easy.
But I was talking when you gave birth. No, I was talking about when you gave birth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I suppose unless you were under, you screamed a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Oh, he's epidural, no problem.
So how do you and Jim know each other?
Actually, I got him started.
She really did.
I hired him.
Did she give you a Me Too experience?
No. At least not on camera.
Not I get right. No, we hired him as the lead in 2 of our movies.
And just because you lived in Michigan and were part of the acting community?
Yeah,
I mean, I've never. Go on.
Beginning. Yeah, I was in the very beginnings of like what I wanted to do back then, and I think I'd done a few short films just before Evil Offspring, and I'd worked, and I just finished up at MPI, and then did you audition Evil Offspring at the Token? Where did I audition?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It
was at the Token.
A friend of ours owned a bar, so we always did our auditions there.
But we did that, and the owner of that, John Anton, he was the other co-lead in it, and like that movie was so much fun.
Yeah.
And then she just cast me in Little Red Devil as the lead in that one.
Yeah.
And
Is
that one,
that's coming up, or you just did it?
Been out.
That was like 15.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, Tom, I never watch anybody's movies, but now that I'm locked down,
I admit it. I want to watch it, but yeah, I can get you a copy.
I want to watch it. I want to watch your film.
Oh, because then you can see Jim's butt.
That would be. No, but I mean seriously, I don't watch.
Think of it on here.
I don't watch a lot of television. I don't watch. I mean, there are horror films from the 70s and 80s that I haven't seen. But I actually sat down and watched the documentary of Hillary. It's called Hillary. Last night. That was 4 hours. So I'm getting better.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well, there were 4. There were 4.
Breaking Bad, so I shouldn't talk. So I'm watching the whole series.
Oh, I think I'm gonna start watching that. But how many seasons is that?
5, and it's complete. I hear it ends like perfect. So.
I mean, I've watched Castle Rock, which was I think 3
that.
seasons. It's fabulous. I love it. Well, I should say it's 2 seasons. The first one is okay, and they're inspired by his book, so his movies.
I have to watch.
Yeah.
The first one's inspired by Shawshank,
Yeah.
And it was okay, but the second one is inspired by Misery, and the star of the thing is Annie Wilkes, and that's really, really creepy.
Yeah.
You know, but Ozark is a great show. Little Fires, Where Are the Fires? The Morning Show. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of
Peaky Blinders. I tell everyone Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Show.
What is?
Peaky Blinders. It's like a period show.
I never heard of that.
Sam Neill is in the first season, and you know it's a really good show.
Cillian Murphy. It's on, yeah. Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch a show that's more than 3 seasons, but.
Well, if you watch this, you can't stop because it sucks you in because it's so good.
Yeah, I start going to bed at 3 or 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And Chris, he recommends just about every show that we've binged on, and I liked every one except Tiger King. I hated it, but I know everybody out there. Sorry, who cares? And who cared about any of those people? Like I'm saying, you have to care.
It's like watching Jerry Springer. You're like,
yes,
it's so good because I'm not that person. So I'm going to watch it.
But I watched it to the end. But anyway, so Chris he on like Ozarks.
Yeah.
He'd call me at 3:00 in the morning and he'd go, okay, how many episodes did you watch tonight, Eileen? You have to know Chris to really get it. And he said, well, why didn't you watch one more? And I said, because it's 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, like
and stuff like that. And then last night he said to me, if you don't watch Hillary, I'm not going to call you for 4 days because we talk every single day.
Awesome.
Chris is not only my manager, he's been my best friend for 20 years. So we talk every day. And last night he said, if you don't watch Hillary tonight, I'm not going to call you until you watch it. And I said, Chris, don't threaten me.
I'm going to watch it, then I'm going to call him at 3 a.m.
I know. Well, he doesn't. That's okay, but he didn't pick up his phone.
I'll just leave messages.
I can't wake him up. I'll just keep calling.
Yeah.
And then he said, it's not a threat, it's a promise. I said, he said, and I don't break my promises. And I said, I don't think that's not fair. And then I sat down and watched 4 hours straight. I didn't even go to the bathroom. So there's something about, I guess, I bought him a Father's Day present. I said, well, yeah, you treat me like one of your kids.
It's a good guy.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So Tommy, get me, yeah, he's going a little nuts now because, everybody, God knows how many conventions he's lost. He was supposed to go to London and Spain and,
I
blah,
know.
blah, blah. You too.
It's hard because, it's losing a whole year of income.
Yeah.
Just one show a year. So that's a whole
year. It gotta, and me too. I did Midsummer Scream last year in Long Beach. I made almost $4,000.
I was going to get a booth there this year. I was so excited.
And they had to cancel it, of course. But yeah, and Chris has lost a small fortune. But so what are you doing with your show? By the way, everybody out there, how did I meet Tommy? I did her show 3 years. I think 3 years, 3 years, and it was just a great show. It was so much fun, and it just great people, great fans, great everything. That she does a great job with her show. So you guys out there, when you hear about this show, come on out to Michigan. Come meet us all. We'll be there.
They're going to come in hordes because it's going to be April next year, April 23rd through 25th, 2021. That's the governor of Michigan. She was very strict, and that's why their numbers are so low.
Yeah, but there were things on Facebook too. I don't know if we're digressing here, but someone said, "Are you going to go to conventions, fans?" And they said, why? You have to stay 6 feet away if the guests even come. Right. But you have to stand 6 feet away. You can't take selfies. You can't. That aren't selfies anyway, because you always get someone to take it.
Photo ops, so they can't do
them.
Well,
Chris was funny about that. He said you can do a photo op. You just get a ruler that's 6 feet. And one person holds one end of the ruler and the other person holds the other end of the ruler.
Or you can do like forced perspective, Yeah,
exactly. But the other hand,
you look really tall. We'll put you in the front. You look really tall.
Yeah, you have trouble with that 6 feet if you're working with somebody who's, like you said. If I'm working with someone who's 6 feet, the ruler has to go like that.
Well, I'm excited to be able to watch all the other shows go first and see what they do, so that I can kind of follow in suit.
Well, this person said, there's no way, and being mixed up with all the crowds and all the fun stuff, drinking in a bar afterwards. The fans that's what I understand is they have as much fun having a reunion with the other fans as they do being part of the show. But I mean, I know that God, so I hate it. Gee, Joe Biden, kiss someone's neck or blew in their hair or something, so he's a predator. You know what happens at shows.
I know.
And I'm very available.
Like Tony Moran loves to kiss me on the lips. He grabs me and he kisses me.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? He's a guest, so I gotta be nice.
You gotta be nice. Well, maybe it's not that bad.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
Hey, but I sit right under everybody's armpit. And it gets really hot. But of course I don't say anything, but that's exactly where I fit. But still, I'm very
soundbite there.
God, that smells. But I'm very hands-on, and I'm very, and obviously you can't do any of that. So you almost might as well buy the pictures online.
Right.
I mean, you as a fan, would you go?
No.
I would.
Jim, you're crazy.
If they're going to be there.
Go. If I was going to be there, you'd come?
If you were going to be there,
yes. If you're there, I'm coming.
Well, I mean, I like everybody else. I think I had 4 shows canceled.
Yeah, but I will with Tommy's being next April. It's just under a year away still. Like, hopefully stuff by then is figured out.
I watched Dr. Fauci yesterday. He said it looks viable to have a vaccine by the end of this year.
Right.
I know, I heard that too. What I'm really hoping is that they've done studies of it, because I'm old enough to remember the end of the polio epidemic, which the main reason it was so different, because obviously I was a kid, is that they were all children in iron lungs and braces. And so the president went out immediately, and said, every scientist in the country, every doctor in the country, every person in the country is going to stop everything and find a vaccine.
That's what they're doing right now.
There was a different kind of quarantine. What they basically said is don't go into crowds. But
I remember getting the shots right at school. Like, now they have all the anti-vaxxers, which scares me. But I'd stand in line at school and they just give you the shot. I
know, exactly. And so they came up with the vaccine, I think it was 1950, something like that. But my point was that some people are saying maybe the polio vaccine will work. And I think they're testing it because polio was a virus or is a virus.
Yeah. All right, I want to get some cool Motor City Nightmares masks.
Some what?
Motor City Nightmares masks.
Oh, can you have them custom made?
Yeah.
Are you getting them custom made?
I'm going to, yeah. I'm going to wait a little while, but yeah, I'm going to get them made.
Well, I'll wear one if we still got to wear one.
Yep.
Yeah, get them going now. Start selling them.
I love people who smoke. I saw something in the casino, actually. They have the mask on, they pick it up, smoke their cigarette, pull it down, pull it up. Like, what are you doing?
Well, they could use it as an extra filter. Just right through it.
Yeah, this is right. Put a little hole. You should create that. Sell some masks that, with an extra filter or a teeny hole.
Yeah. Oh, no, this was great. Thank you so much for your time, Eileen.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know me. I just talk and talk and talk.
Love it, though. We got a lot to work with, so it's good.
Did I let you guys talk enough?
Oh, yeah. No, there's been people that we didn't even get a word in edgewise. At least we got to discuss that.
Oh, no, but isn't the other people even better? Like, I've seen them in interviews and stuff like that, you know, that they go, so what is your favorite film and why? Jaws.
We didn't ask that.
Yeah, but then they get totally quiet. They don't say anything else. They go, what's your favorite film? They go, Jaws. How'd you get started in the business? Someone hired me.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know the hosts will start going nuts. It's
I know.
like,
And then you're like,
yeah.
oh, gotta think of something to say.
So let me ask you, where's this thing going? I should ask you in front, right? Oh, it's going on the Porn Network.
Oh yeah, Porn Network. Yeah. It'll be on Facebook, and it'll be Motor City Nightmares Horror Vision on Facebook, and then also on Horror Vision Instagram
Oh, great. Oh, can I tell you
And
one quick
YouTube.
story?
and YouTube. Horror Vision YouTube.
Okay. Can I tell you one quick story? Do we have time?
Yep.
Talking about the porn industry.
Okay, then for sure.
I did a film called Dante's Cove. Okay. And I knew it was being done for the Here Network, which was a gay network that doesn't exist anymore. So I knew there were a lot of boys and girls and stuff like that coming down there. But I played an apparition from the 1860s. So it was great. I had one of those big antebellum, you know, dresses on.
Yeah.
How do you go to the bathroom in an antebellum?
I don't know. Look
It was great.
Look it up.
Oh, and we were in Turks and Caicos. So next to the Bahamas. That was my incredible job.
Hard job.
Oh, it really hard. And it was actually on an island that you had to take a little puddle jumper from Turks and Caicos to go to the island. And they actually brought my husband down. But the point being that I didn't kiss anybody, and they had to fire the director, because talk about Me Too. He was having rehearsals, and they brought a whole bunch of beautiful women down from Vancouver, and they'd never been in a movie before, and they were beautiful. So he'd call rehearsals at midnight. He'd expose themselves. He would direct, like Tracy Scruggins even, who was in it, by putting his hand on her breast. Oh, he was horrendous. And he came up, and all the girls kept coming up to me and saying, what should we do? I mean, what do we want to do? I want to be in this movie. I've never been in a movie before. And I finally went to the producers and I said, you know what you're doing, Eileen, and you're going to be on the next plane out of here. I went to the producers. He was on the next plane out of here.
Oh, good.
But the point being, it gets worse than that. So I shoot the whole thing, and I've read the script. It's okay. It's harmless. People are, you know, men kissing men, blah, blah, blah. It's harmless. So Thomas and I are watching it in the bedroom, happened to be the bedroom, and it opens up with a guy getting a blowjob.
Whoa!
And oh no, I'm sorry. It opened up with a guy getting it up the anus. You know, that's how it opens. And then the next scene is getting a blowjob in a taxi cab. Thomas looks at me and he says, "Okay, Eileen, you've gotten your whole career for 40 years, so you could end up doing gay porn." And he said, "You know, you
can check that off the bucket list now."
Hey, Thomas, I'm talking about you. He just came in the living room. So Thomas said, you know, you can take it off your resume. And I said, why do I want to take it off my resume? The only people that are going to be watching it are gay people.
Right. And
or they don't know what it is, are gay people. And lo and behold, I ran into a casting director who was gay. And he said, oh, I shot the first Dante's Cove. So he knew about it, but it was so funny because, you know, you don't have any, you know, once you shoot a film, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You know, unless, I don't know, you know, maybe A1 actors have final cut. I don't even know if that's true. Maybe some do and some don't.
So where can everyone get your book?
Oh, thank you. You can get my book on, the easiest way to get my book is to go on Facebook and send me a private message. Okay. And I'll tell you about the prices, and then you pay for it on PayPal. And it goes, I understand.
You'll sign it for them, right?
Oh, of course, yeah, it'll go out. And I also have that Pazuzu statue. And
cool.
My webpage is being designed as we now speak. So, but right now, you can keep checking eileendietz.com. And it'll be up there one of these days, and it'll show. I mean, I have beanies. I have a store. Me and Dee Wallace, right?
Perfect.
Dee has, I think, a bigger store than I do. But, you know, I got hats. I got Pazuzu. I got Pazuzu faces. I got exorcist scripts and pictures, stuff like that. And you can see it on Facebook. I think if you go to my page, it's on there. I'm a woman of darkness. I can be dark. And with that, Can we have Pazuzu sign us off?
All right, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our show. And we will talk to you later.
Woo!
I love it.
Ha!
I love you,
Thank
lady.
I love you, Tommy, too. I can't wait to get together. Bye-bye.
Happy to see you
Bye,
again.
Jim.
Bye.
And Tommy, tell me how to get to your movies. Bye-bye.
Okay.